They thought they could humiliate me at my own promotion dinner. Little did they know, I had already uncovered their dirty secrets and was about to serve them the coldest dish of revenge they'd ever tasted. The champagne flutes caught the light as Margaret raised hers in what appeared to be celebration. "To Elena's remarkable promotion," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Though I suppose standards have become quite flexible these days." The boardroom elite around the mahogany table chuckled nervously, their designer jewelry catching the chandelier's glow. I maintained my composure, my smile never wavering. Years of corporate warfare had taught me that the sharpest weapons were often the quietest ones. Across from me, my business partner Victoria, the firm's most ruthless investigator, set down her crystal glass with deliberate precision. Her emerald eyes locked onto Margaret's face. "Fascinating perspective, Margaret," Victoria said, her tone silk over steel. "Particularly considering what crossed my desk this afternoon regarding your son's recent activities." The laughter died instantly. Ice clinked against glass in the sudden silence. It hadn't always been this way. When I first joined Blackstone and Associates, Margaret Wellington had been the queen of our corporate dynasty. Her son James was the golden boy, handsome, charming, and completely mediocre. But he had the family name, the connections, and most importantly, his mother's protection. For 3 years, I'd watched Margaret undermine every woman who threatened her son's trajectory. Brilliant analysts suddenly found their projects reassigned. Promising executives discovered their client relationships mysteriously soured. I was supposed to be different, the foreign consultant who would know her place. But I didn't. My breakthrough came during the Morrison acquisition. While James fumbled through basic due diligence, I uncovered a web of financial irregularities that saved the firm $12 million. The promotion followed swiftly, along with Margaret's barely concealed fury. The real revelation came 3 weeks later. A misfiled email landed in my inbox. Correspondence between James and a competitor, offering proprietary client data in exchange for a senior position. The messages revealed a systematic scheme. Margaret had been feeding him confidential information for months, using her administrative access to steal strategies, client lists, and merger details. But it was the final message that sealed their fate. "Mother says the foreign woman won't last much longer. Keep your head down until we can eliminate the problem permanently." I didn't rage. Calculated. First, I secured my evidence with Victoria's help. As our firm's ethics overseer, she had both the authority and the appetite for corporate justice. Second, I documented every instance of data theft with timestamps, IP addresses, and digital fingerprints. Third, I waited. The promotion dinner was Margaret's final power play. She'd invited the firm's entire leadership, expecting to humiliate me into resignation. Instead, she'd gathered witnesses for her own destruction. "What activities?" Margaret's voice cracked slightly, her composure finally showing stress fractures. Victoria opened a leather portfolio with theatrical precision. Industrial espionage, corporate theft, conspiracy to defraud clients. Should I continue? James went pale, his champagne flute trembling. That's completely documented," Victoria interrupted. "Every email, every file transfer, every piece of stolen intellectual property your mother helped you access." The room erupted in whispers. Board members exchanged shocked glances. Margaret's carefully constructed empire began crumbling in real time. "Elena tried to warn me privately," Victoria continued, her gaze never leaving Margaret's frozen face. "She hoped it was a misunderstanding. But the evidence was overwhelming." I finally spoke, my voice steady as granite. "I gave you both multiple chances to stop. Every family dinner where you mocked my accent, every meeting where you questioned my qualifications, every time you tried to make me feel small. I was already holding the proof of your crimes." Margaret's mask finally slipped. "You manipulative little thief," I interrupted. "The only thief at this table is your son. And his accomplice." The aftermath was swift and brutal. James was terminated within hours. His attempted defection exposed to every major firm in the city. Margaret's administrative privileges were revoked, her pension frozen pending investigation. The Wellington name, once synonymous with corporate prestige, became a cautionary tale whispered in boardrooms. 3 months later, I received my final piece of satisfaction, a resignation letter from Margaret, typed on plain paper because she could no longer afford letterhead. James had moved back home, unemployable and bitter. Their penthouse was listed for sale. Victoria found me in my new corner office that evening, pouring expensive scotch into crystal tumblers. "Any regrets?" she asked. I gazed out at the city lights, each one representing dreams built and destroyed by corporate ambition. They thought my accent made me weak. My foreign background made me grateful. My gender made me compliant. I raised my glass to the reflection of a woman who had learned that sometimes the most devastating revenge isn't served hot or cold. It's served with perfect documentation and impeccable timing. Instead, they taught me that in America, the most dangerous enemy isn't the one who shouts. It's the one who files paperwork. The city sparkled below us like scattered diamonds, each light a reminder that in the game of corporate survival, the quiet ones often win.